Hello everyone! Today's Champion Spotlight is dedicated to Polara Fireheart, a mythical powerhouse that commands the clashing elements of fire and ice, as well as a brand new debuff. How exactly does she command these polar opposites? Let's take a look. Here's a brief reminder about recruiting Polara. She won't be available from any shard or event. You'll have to complete all challenges in the new hard mode of Faction Wars to add her to your collection. Polara can only be recruited at the end of that chain of hard mode rewards, so get ready to raid some crypts and face new dangers within. Polara's well worth the effort though. Both of her forms excel in PvP. Her base form focuses on dealing huge damage, while her alternate form switches to a defensive role with access to various buffs and debuffs. Don't worry too much about balancing stats though. Polara's defense and attack both affect her skill multipliers, though you may need to favor defense a bit more. Now let's take a look at the base form's arsenal of skills. Polara's default skill, Burning Zeal, delivers a single hefty blow and comes with a 25% chance of granting her an extra turn. If the target is under any debuffs at all, Polara lets fly with 2 swings. Simple and effective, just the way we like it. Faithful Conflagration strikes a single champion thrice, with each hit destroying the target's defense and resistance by 3%, up to a total of 30% each. That's not all though. Each hit also ignores 25% of the target's defense, and this effect is doubled if the target has any HP burn or freeze debuffs. To top it off, if Faithful Conflagration lays the target low, all surviving enemies get an unresistible HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Toasty. Of course, a damage dealer of Polara's caliber needs a powerful AoE to whack the entire enemy team with, and Pyro Maxima is exactly that. Polara lashes out at all enemies, ignoring shield, block damage, and unkillable buffs, deals damage from all HP burn debuffs on all enemies at once, and places a block revive debuff on any target killed with an active HP burn or freeze. This skill is Polara's coup de grace. Time it wisely, and you'll knock critical champions out before they can heal up. Finally, we have Elemental Mistress, Polara's first passive skill. She deals 25% more damage to any target under HP burn or freeze, but she'll dish out 100% more damage to enemies that have both debuffs. Oh, and she'll also completely ignore the damage reduction freeze debuffs normally provided. You didn't think that flaming sword was just for show, did you? Functionally, Polara's Metamorph skill in her base form is like most other mythicals. Activate it with a tap, she switches forms and gets an extra turn. However, she's looking a lot less fiery in her alternate form. From burning battler to a cold, implacable defender, Polara's change is radical. Let's explore the alternate form skills. Using Glacial Carve, we'll see Polara strike an enemy, then place a 50% ally protection buff on a random ally for 2 turns. Don't be afraid to use this skill often. If the initial random target already has an ally protection buff, Polara will instead apply it to another random champion. That's important because Glacial Carve also lets Polara heal herself and any allies with an ally protection buff. Frozen Tendrils is a pure support skill. It places block debuffs and strengthen buffs on all allies for 2 turns, then burdens the enemy team with an Ensnare debuff. That's the shiny new debuff I mentioned earlier. It decreases the potency of all turn meter fill effects the champion receives by either 50% or 100%, depending on the version of the debuff placed. Polara's version completely negates all positive turn meter manipulation for 2 turns, which can give you a massive advantage. One more thing. Enemy champions under freeze or HP burn debuffs can't resist the Ensnare debuff. Iceblade Tempest is an AoE attack, much like its counterpart in the base form. But where Pyro Maxima focuses purely on bringing the pain, this neat little trick places a single stack of intercept on your entire team before attacking, and places an unresistible freeze debuff on all enemies after attacking. Psst. Using this skill and then metamorphing back to the base form to take advantage of the increased damage might be a good idea. And now for the alternate form's passive, Cryomantic Revival. And it's pretty unique in its mechanics. Once per round, Polara can revive any friendly champions, herself included, that bite the dust. Those champions get all of their HP back, but are also met with a freeze debuff for 1 turn. Except this freeze debuff comes with a benefit, a whopping 90% damage mitigation. That's not just this freeze though. Any freeze an ally receives while Polara is in her alternate form mitigates 90% of all incoming damage. So, effectively, revive champions from Cryomantic Revival, take a small nap inside a cozy iceberg, thaw out when their turn begins, and are ready to crush your enemies. Like before, Polara's Metamorph skill in her alternate form is business as usual. One tap and Polara bursts into flames once more. Lastly, there's her Aura skill, a huge 40% attack bonus to all allies in arena battles, vital for when you need to pack that extra punch. That's about everything you need to know about her skills. Now, let's see what gear you need to make Polara Fireheart burn bright. Pretty much all of her damage-focused skills scale with the sum of her defense and attack, so stack both. Don't neglect accuracy though. While most of Polara's debuffs are unresistible, you might want some extra to guarantee ensnare lands if you can't always rely on creating the perfect chance to use frozen tendrils. Overall, Polara will excel in Arena and Siege thanks to the massive damage she can dish out in her base form, and the mixture of crowd control and ally support her alternate form provides. She's no slouch in PvE either, and won't have much trouble melting tough enemy waves. We recommend pairing her with champions that have consistent access to HP burn and freeze. Polara can provide for herself, but switching between each form to apply them is a little tricky, so having friends that can prime the enemy for double damage works wonders. Alright, that about wraps it up for this spotlight. We hope you'll delve into Faction Wars Hard Mode to add this fiery fighter to your collection. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and subscribe for more raid content. Until next time.